Uh, got a couple new things on the plate here. I finally got these axes and mauls put together. We got the paracord. I had this head. This is kind of like a hybrid maul axe. Got the paracord for the overstrike, and I got this handle from Buckin Billy Ray. This is a tongue oil. These are very nice, man. I mean, I grab it right here, and you really get a nice split with it. This is the other one here. It's got a maul head. I got this off of Etsy. This one came out a little nicer. It could use a couple more coats, but this is, I'm using that Watco Danish oil. And came out real nice. Brought the grain out. Same thing. This one might have a little more oomph. It's a little heavier head. I think it's a 6-pound head. And it works well. So, anybody that's looking for a killer handle, go check out Buckin Billy Ray's store. I know when I ordered them, I had to wait a little bit for him to get a batch in. So, I don't know if he has them in stock or not. He may. But, tell him Fabe sent you. Because he picked out a couple pieces of heartwood or whatever, the way the grain is on this thing, and it really pops. I really like it. I actually like this Watco a little bit better than the tongue oil. Although there's nothing wrong with tongue oil. I mean, you're just not going to get the color. Might be a little bit better protectant, but so that's that. The other thing is I'm working on the the variable exhaust. Basically, kind of like a power valve that you would use on a dirt bike. Right now I have it set up on 2 saws, and it's just a little finger that can come down and come up. I got it on a servo motor. It's manually controlled. If you don't do anything, it just works like a regular saw. If you're running a long bar and you're starting to dig in, you can hit the button and it'll drop it down a little bit. And what you're doing is you're changing the size of the exhaust port. So you can't get everything with these things. If you have a smaller exhaust port, you're going to have maybe a little bit more low to mid, but your top isn't going to be there because it's not going to flow. Conversely, if you widen the heck out of the port to get more flow, to get more horsepower, to bring it up in the RPM range, which I don't do, I just thicken up the whole thing. And conversely, you're not going to have the low end power. So what this is just like a little finger that that's controlled, and it's just changing the volume of that with the RPM. I mean, it's at a certain RPM, these ports are going to be open for a certain time, whatever, 10,000ths of a second or whatever. And as you increase the RPM, it's going to be open for less and less of a time. You have less time to move the mixture up through and out. If it can't get out, it can't get in. Now, what's the results of this? I don't have anything on a dyno, but I can say in the wood, you want to dog in, you can tell a difference. You can run it without touching it, and it just runs like a saw, regular saw, with the mods and the pipe and everything. But if you hit it and you're dogging in and you start hitting it in, you can feel it. You can hear the change in the motor. What's the percentage gain? I'd say maybe 5, 6%, 7%. The whole trick is you have to come up with a mechanism, either some balls and a spring, centrifugal force will open that and have it set up such that it does it automatically. There's a lever there, and as these balls open up, that it raises your port, increases the volume, and as the RPM goes down, the port comes down, the finger comes down and diminishes it and gives you a little bit low end power. I mean, it's just a labor of love. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be tough to do that with on this, the way it's set up. But it's not impossible. It can be done. I mean, the whole thing is just to have it set up. You buy the product, and it just does it automatically. It adjusts as you're running instead of doing it by hand. But that's all I can do for now. So, you know, there's a lot of guys out there, you know, that have been stuffing balloons up their sleeves now for a long time, and you know, these saws are game changers as it is. But with the addition of this, if you don't have that, I don't see how you're going to keep up. I really don't. So yeah, well, I got to cut it short because I have to wake up tomorrow and go out and clear some more land. We'll see what happens on that, but it's something I'm working on. It may take me a while to get everything automatic, but I'll figure out a way to do it. I got some guys that I work with that are pretty talented, and they've been around. They may have done something like this before. You never know, but I think it's a worthy endeavor. If you could come up with something that's going to thicken it up as you're running it, you know, because I don't try and stretch the RPMs to make the power. I mean, that's where you're going to make the power is more RPM. However, it's a work saw. I would rather just, okay, this saw runs at 10,000 RPM in the wood. We'll take it maybe to 10.5, but it's just going to be, the curve is just going to be higher. It's just going to put out more power, more torque and horsepower everywhere through the range. So that you, the end user, you whack that throttle and dog in, you're going to make chips. But the most important thing I got to tell you guys, sharp chain. That's the biggest thing. Sharp chain. That's your biggest performance gain right there. Learn how to sharpen your chain and learn how to do it well. And you'll be miles ahead of the game.